J Squad, on the film stylist.
And you are watching
Elodie Zone, baby.
What it do?
Yeah.
What's happening, baby? Oh, what's happening, baby? What's happening?
The most interesting thing about being a content creator online is many people have very inconsistent checks coming in. 1 month we're all ballers, paper, another month they're chilling looking at each other. So I think by being in a career field rather, where it's very inconsistent, it forces you to be more strict. When you get a chunk hitting that bank account, it's not to go and blow it. You're thinking, okay, in the future, something bad may happen. I need to put my money somewhere safe, And so I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And I feel like even if you're someone that does have a consistent income, still implementing that, because you never know when a rainy day is going to happen. For me, I definitely began to actually study, how do banks actually work? What does interest even mean? Those really boring, confusing terms that we all run away from, you actually have to put in time if you're looking at long-term wealth. And I began to really do that, let me not lie, beginning of the year when I started seriously considering moving out. And I wish I had started doing it earlier, because I feel like I'd be so much further if I'd started earlier. Everything for me really began with the 50-30-20 rule? Is it 50-20-30 rule? 50, one of them. So basically 50% is supposed to go into things you actually need, your rent, your food, basic survival things. 30% is supposed to go into fun, leisure activities. I'm not someone that believes you must be strict. If you've worked hard for money, enjoy some of it if you can. And then 20% is supposed to go into your savings account. So for me, that was the foundation that I started with. And then from there, I began to alter to make it adjust however much I'm earning this month, etc., etc. When any check hits your account, if you've already paid your bill, okay, step one, pay your bills. If you've already done that, put money into your savings before you touch anything else. Savings account, of course, you need perhaps an emergency one. I also have an account that I save up for because I like to travel, so I like to have an account there. Just by doing so, you know where your money is going before you even get it. That is the important thing. Actually, that's why I used to go broke back in the day. The money ficas, then you decide what to do with it. Don't do that. Whether you're getting 50 bob or 50 million shillings, know where every coin is going before it lands into your account. That's the best advice I can give you guys. Take it or leave it, but we're all millionaires in the future. I'm going to see you on that private jet.
Beautiful people, it's your girl Elodie, and welcome back to my YouTube. I really need to stop doing stuff like that. I'm out of breath. I can't do this. Listen, people, before we dive right into the video, I'm gonna make something very, very clear.
So I'm someone that's been very, very open. I've definitely struggled with my mental health a lot. I began going through depression when I was 14. This is even before I was on social media. It was a very, very hard time for me. And basically by starting the show Mental Mondays, I'm trying to give my audience what I needed at that time. So I'm not even doing research and making it overcomplicated. I have journal entries, I have diary entries from back then. So I understand what a young person online needs in order to make themselves feel better when they're in the real world. Because at the end of the day, social media, many people use it as a distraction. So whether it is things like depression, eating disorders, anxiety, we touch on all of those. And a lot of the times I've actually realized people are very scared to get engaged in the content publicly. So whenever I post a video, I'll get a ton of DMs, but people are very ashamed to open up. So I'm also trying to find a creative way to tackle that and make people realize it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just something we need to talk about and heal from and deal with together. So Mental Mondays is actually phase 1 of 3 things I want to really go into. I'm very comfortable to talk about this openly because even if someone takes this idea, I don't mind because I still feel like it needs to happen. It doesn't matter whose name is behind it. So besides having Mental Mondays, I want us to move to that phase of having online therapy, but in such a way where it's free and accessible. The biggest online therapy site that I've actually shared to my followers before is called 7cups.com. And either you can pay for a premium membership and talk to an actual counselor, or there's the option to click to get in touch with a listener. And a listener is someone random that you don't know. They could be anywhere in the world, and just by clicking a button, a chat immediately starts. And I think that's a great way for people that are hitting that tipping point where they might end up hurting themselves, they might end up hurting someone else, and you need fast, immediate action. Log onto the website, click a button, and you're immediately connected to a listener. So that's something that I really want to bring and implement back home, because the number of emergency suicide lines that I've tried in Kenya to see if they actually work. There is none I have found that works. People always send in names, contacts, none of them has worked to that standard that it needs to be. And then of course phase 3 is possibly opening up a clinic, but it's a bit sensitive because primarily I'm targeting the youth. In order for you to talk to the youth, you need a parent's consent. Not a lot of parents have a full understanding of mental health. And so I'm really working with my team, an amazing team of counselors, psychologists, therapists. Some of them work in some of the top schools here in East Africa to really find a strategic and easy and simple way to implement all of that. So this is a project I'll be working on till death. No, I remember going on a live stream during this COVID period, and sometimes I go on live stream. You know, you can like join with someone on a live stream, and I was just talking to some of my followers, lights, upbeats, whatever, and then I get on one live with this one gentleman, and he starts talking to me about terrible stuff that happened to a girl that he's very close to, and he's literally on the live in tears, just in detail a lot of stuff that happened. And it got to a point where I had to end the live because I wasn't sure who was watching, who it may affect, and I ended up talking to the gentleman on the side and recommending him to a counselor that I've worked with in the past. So for me, it definitely feels good that I'm helping people, but it's very tricky because as you try to help someone with their mental health, you must also take care of your mental health. And I'm someone that I pick up people's energy so easy. Like if you're angry, I'll become salty. If you're excited, I'll become pumped. I feed on energy so easily. So I'm grateful for it, but it's very sensitive. I have to be very delicate with it, but I'm not gonna give up. Like I'm not gonna stop. We have to make some kind of progress because no one else is.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
The reason why young people should help other young people is because it's the right thing to do. I've noticed even as I travel, there's a lot of cultural differences. Slight quick off-topic example. My family's in France. And in France, normally like when you enter public transport or you enter a shop or you walk past someone in the morning and maybe the road is a bit deserted, it's common courtesy to say, hello, how are you? So as you enter a bus, you tell the driver like, hello, how are you? Oh, I'm good, then you go and sit. Somewhere else, you enter a shop, even if you're not going to buy anything, you're just browsing, it's common courtesy to say, hello, how are you? You acknowledge the other person that you're with. Other places I've gone to, it's very like nonchalant, will be rude and just enter and be very, I'm going to use a French word, be very nonchalant about other people, if I can put it like that. And at the end of the day, we need to come back to reality. Being kind to someone means something. Being honest to someone means something. Being trustworthy, being loyal, being respectful to someone means something. And these are things that you must implement irrespective of your age. So if you're in a position where you can help someone, help them. Don't expect anything in return. It's so important to live selflessly.
What up, you guys? It's your girl Elodie Zone. So you guys, I have literally not done one of these videos where I just sit down and talk to you guys in so long, so I figured, YOLO, why not?
The first thing I'd like to tell people is never try to be like someone else. Never try to be like Elodie. Never try to be like whoever your inspiration is. You can take inspiration from them. You can listen to them and learn from them and use that, but use it all to create you. The only way you can truly be happy and successful in synchrony is if you're being you, because there's only one you. I was definitely scared when I started going into this social media world because there was no other social media person, but it felt right for me, and I did it for me. And I was not expecting anyone to do anything else. I'm just doing it for me. So I also want to encourage you, as you're trying to be yourself and to find yourself, continue doing things for you. Along the way, it is going to be hard. You are going to lose people. There is going to be tough times. There are going to be early mornings. There's going to be blood, sweat, and tears. But if you're truly being your authentic self and doing what you love, then none of that is going to matter.
How you liking Mombasa?
It's good so far, relaxing. Glad to be here with the people I love.
I think whether you're on social media, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, every career path you take is a double-edged sword. There's good and bad to everything. You just need to take yourself and take your situation and find a good way to flip it around. So I guess I can use this example because my job is also a creative craft. Of course, I'm human. Human beings go through a ton of emotions. We're happy, we're sad, we're angry. For me, I've learned to take those emotions and channel it into my art, into my creativity. So if I'm struggling with my mental health, I'll begin to write because I'm also a writer. I'll just put everything down on paper as a release. Then later on, I might turn that piece of writing into a video that may help someone in the future. So taking a moment to pause when you're going through some kind of negative thing, whether it's tied to your life, to your job, something personal, taking a pause, reflecting on it, and then finding a way to turn that into a pro is always a good way to go. For me, I strongly believe that we go through bad things to learn lessons. And unless you learn that lesson, you're going to keep going through something similar. That's step one. I also believe that moving forward, after you've learned that lesson, your job is to teach someone else that may have gone through it or may be going through it. Okay, on the real, in the next 30 years, because actually I want to retire a real estate mogul, guys. Let that sink in for a moment. I really love, because I've grown up around like a real estate community, if I can put it like that, and I really, really love it. So by the time I'm 30, I'm hoping to already own some cribs, plural, cribs. Of course, I really hope that, I believe, I know that Mental Mondays will have peaked new heights, hopefully having up a counseling sort of website of some sort, so at least there'll be more happening than just me making a video. What else will I be doing? Oh, cruising in my G-Wagon. Guys, I've been talking about a G-Wagon for too many years already, so hopefully I'll have that in all whites. And yeah, besides that, maybe like a family. Oh my god, that sounds so weird to say. Maybe a family? I think that's it. Homes everywhere, my psychology stuff going down, a G-Wagon, and a family. 33, quote me on that. And this is my favorite quote, by the way. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, it is that we are powerful beyond our measure. Something along those lines. So I want to leave you guys with that quote and just make you realize that every day when you wake up, try and focus on positive things. Whenever you have a moment where you're thinking negatively, notice it, stop it, and change it to a positive. And over time, that's going to help your mental health, that's going to help your creativity, that's going to help you in school, that's going to help you overall become a better person. I get a lot of messages from people that are really broken in really hard places, and it seems like it's a whole mountain you have to climb in order to be okay. And it really just starts with you being positive and changing your mindset. So kind of keep that in mind. If you guys want to find out more information on self-development, spirituality, mental health, motivation, then of course you can also check out my social media. My captions are lit, guys. I put a lot of time and effort into my Instagram captions. They will motivate you, I can guarantee that.